New millennium, same old story. One-hit wonders of the 2000s came and went, but many found ways to thrive even after their stars had faded. By the early 2000s, rock music had undergone a major transformation with the emergence of rap rock. Bands like Limp Bizkit and Linkin Park led the way, fusing hip-hop lyrical delivery with chunky guitar riffs. Crazy Town took rap rock mainstream with Butterfly, when it topped the Billboard Hot 100 charts for 2 weeks in 2001. With its success, the band was catapulted to fame, but they faced backlash from some in the rock music community for their soft sound. Singer Shifty Shellshock told Rolling Stone at the time, "We have a lot to prove because of Butterfly. We have to prove we're aggressive punk kids, a real band, and not a pop act." Unfortunately, Crazy Town's 2002 follow-up album, Dark Horse, tanked on the charts, and the band went on an indefinite hiatus after its release. The band's hiatus was tough on its members. Former guitarist Charles Lopez died in 2004. DJ AM, who survived a 2008 private plane crash along with Blink-182 drummer Travis Barker, passed away in 2009. Crazy Town's remaining members eventually reunited and even released an album called The Brimstone Sluggers in 2015. However, most of the Crazy Town-related headlines in the 2010s centered around Shellshock's alleged behavior, including his troubles with the law and health issues reportedly related to excessive drug use. When Shellshock and bandmate Bobby Reeves were filmed fighting each other in April 2023, the band was dropped from the New Metal Madness Tour 2. Shortly after the incident, Shellshock was arrested for allegedly driving under the influence. In 2004, hip-hop collective Terror Squad had a massive hit with their laid-back dance anthem Lean Back. Fat Joe founded Terror Squad Entertainment, and the label supergroup featured him alongside Big Pun, Remy Ma, Cuban Link, and Tony Sunshine, among others. Sadly, Terror Squad suffered a serious setback when Big Pun died in 2000, but the group reached its zenith when Lean Back topped the Billboard Hot 100 4 years later. The hit turn was a swan song of sorts for Terror Squad. They released an additional track called Take Me Home from their album True Story, but it failed to match the success of its predecessor, and the collective hasn't released new music together since. Life wasn't exactly relaxed for former Terror Squad members after Lean Back. Cuban Link and Fat Joe have beefed since the mid-2000s, and both Fat Joe and Remy Ma served time. Fat Joe received a 4-month prison sentence in 2013 for failing to file tax returns. Meanwhile, Remy Ma spent 6 years in a correctional facility for her involvement in a shooting before being released in 2014. Despite their legal woes, Fat Joe and Remy Ma have found continued career success not only in music but also in movies and TV. He has made a number of appearances on both big screen and small, while she became a reality TV star on VH1's Love and Hip Hop New York. The summer of 2001 arguably belonged to Blu Cantrell's song Hit 'Em Up Style Oops off her debut album So Blue, a sassy breakup song about taking revenge on a cheating lover by going on a massive shopping spree. It peaked at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. Cantrell's 2003 follow-up album Bittersweet was nominated for a Grammy, and while her single Breathe with Sean Paul was a hit in the UK, it unfortunately couldn't crack the top 40 in the United States. Its chart performance wasn't enough to clear Cantrell of her one-hit wonder status. Her record label contract wasn't renewed for a third album, and despite swinging onto 2000s reality television with a stint on Celebrity Circus, her career in the studio stalled. But as she told Fuse TV in 2016, "I've been eating off of those records and have been doing shows nonstop."
I think the highlight was really just being on stage and having the fans sing along with the words of the songs.
In recent years, the singer has maintained a pretty low professional profile, but the real reason you never hear from Blu Cantrell anymore might be a bit more personal. In 2014, she was hospitalized and put under a psychiatric evaluation after authorities found her wandering the streets of Santa Monica, California, claiming to have been poisoned, according to TMZ. While her Instagram has been dormant since late 2016, Cantrell has since leaned into the throwback phase of her career. In 2019, she joined the Bring That Beat Back tour in Australia and New Zealand. The following year, Cantrell crossed the pond to partake in the History Blast-Off tour. Music super duo Gnarls Barkley's song Crazy was a smash hit in 2006, peaking at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart that summer. Singer CeeLo Green and producer Danger Mouse combined forces for the funky, melancholy track that served as an early digital music distribution breakthrough. Crazy snagged a Grammy and became a popular song to cover. Although Gnarls Barkley's 2008 follow-up album, The Odd Couple, failed to produce any significant hits, CeeLo and Danger Mouse's solo careers were just ramping up. CeeLo's 2010 single Forget You slow burned its way to number 1, and he became one of the original judges of NBC's reality competition series The Voice that next year. year. He left the show in 2014, and while his departure was amicable, he did so amidst some serious legal trouble. CeeLo faced accusations of sexual assault and was charged with a felony for furnishing a controlled substance in 2013. According to the Los Angeles Times, he pleaded no contest to the charge and served no jail time. Meanwhile, Danger Mouse continued to build his reputation as a powerhouse producer, working with the likes of Adele, the Black Keys, A$AP Rocky, and the Red Hot Chili Peppers. He also serves as one half of the indie band Broken Bells. Canadian singer-songwriter Daniel Powter had the biggest hit of 2006 with the song Bad Day, which spent 5 weeks atop the Billboard Hot 100 chart. Licensed out for a French Coca-Cola ad campaign, the tune also had European success before it found its way into American Idol's farewell montage song that year. With that, Bad Day became ubiquitous in pop culture. At the time, Powter admitted to MTV News that he didn't even watch the reality competition series, but that didn't stop him from performing Bad Day during Season 5's finale. Since then, Powter hasn't charted in the Billboard Hot 100, but he's continued to make music, releasing albums like Under the Radar in 2008 and Turn on the Lights in 2012. Although financially lucrative, Powter confessed he struggled with his Bad Day notoriety, telling CTV News in 2012, "I had such a hard time trying to break another song around Bad Day because it was so big." After stepping back from his music career, Powter eventually made peace with his biggest song. However, in the shadow of Bad Day's success, Powter also dealt with the pressures of fame through excessive drug and alcohol use. Per an interview with Metro, after 5 years, he went to rehab and got sober. He's since embraced pastimes like surfing and yoga to maintain his mental health.
I'm hanging up the boots.
These days, Powter's still in the music game, and he's even remixed Bad Day for the Gen Z crowd, releasing a dance version of the song with Agent Z in April 2023. California girl group Dream hit the big time when they signed to Sean Diddy Combs' Bad Boy Records. A teenage foursome with the pop princess sound and look, Dream's hit 2000 song He Loves You Not peaked at number 2 on the Hot 100 chart, and they became a staple of the wildly popular video countdown show TRL. They were so popular that they hit the road on the MTV TRL tour in 2001, with other TRL stalwarts like Destiny's Child, Nelly, and Jessica Simpson. Dream seemed poised for future success, but behind the scenes, drama and some unfortunate timing ultimately steered the group toward obscurity. Per Complex, their former manager, Judith Fontaine, sued for a portion of their profits just before their debut album It Was All a Dream dropped, and after the attacks on 9/11, Bad Boy stopped promoting the record. Melissa Schumann soon left the group, and those who stayed balked at the more mature, sexy look and sound demanded of them by their record label. When their 2003 single Crazy barely cracked the top 40, Dream went their separate ways. However, the group's members have remained close throughout the years, and they even made a comeback in 2015 with a cover of the holiday classic Oh Holy Night, before joining other millennial popsters for the My2K tour in 2016. Sadly, Dream officially disbanded later that year. MIMS' 2006 #1 song, This Is Why I'm Hot, was born out of the rapper's frustration with the music business. Ironically, its success brought him major label woes. In February 2023, MIMS told BET that while This Is Why I'm Hot grossed millions of dollars, he personally received little financial windfall from the track's success. He pointed to the label's accounting practices as the reason for allegedly not receiving his fair share of profits. In an interview with All Hip Hop, he revealed that he spent 7 years in litigation with Capitol Records. Financial disappointment and his soured relationship with his record label made MIMS dispassionate about being a music star, but his bad experiences in the music industry led to a successful career pivot into tech.
I realized that you don't care about me as an artist, you're worried about the numbers, you're worried about what you're going to show your investors.
He co-founded the music app Recordgram, which promised artists the ability to turn their phones into mini recording studios. MIMS explained to Stereo Gum, "I think a lot of those negative situations lumped me into the world of technology. That's why I was able to create an app like Recordgram, because I wanted to democratize the way music works." Although This Is Why I'm Hot holds a tumultuous history for its creator, it seems MIMS is ready to embrace its enduring pop culture legacy. In 2023, he dropped a parody of the song called This Is Beyond Hot for Cheetos' Flamin' Hot Tangy Chili Fusion. In the 2000s, American Idol was a cultural phenomenon that introduced the world to music megastars like Kelly Clarkson, Carrie Underwood, Jennifer Hudson, and Fantasia Barrino. Season 4 runner-up Bo Bice's rock-infused version of the Idol finale track, Inside Your Heaven, peaked at number 2 on the Billboard chart in 2005, and his second-place status seemed to be setting him up for success. He told Rolling Stone at the time, "The label American Idol was not for me. I'm not a pop person. It would have been harder to play my kind of music if I had won." Bice played his kind Sound of Music on his debut album The Real Thing, which also charted, but his career cooled after his idol shine faded. In the years after Inside Your Heaven, Bice has kept to his rock roots by becoming the lead vocalist for Blood, Sweat and Tears, touring with the group for 5 years until 2018. In January 2023, he even applied his hard-rocking persona to a production of the musical Rock of Ages in Florida. Reflecting on his music career and his experience on Idol, Bice told Swampland.com, "I never called it work. I am doing what I always dreamed of doing at this level. To have these great fans who voted on the TV show and still come out to see us play is just a blessing. That's what this is all about." Cassie had the sound and the look for music stardom when she dropped her song Me and You in 2006. The minimalist track peaked at number 3 that year, but the singer failed to follow it up with another hit. Instead, Cassie's career branched off into acting and modeling. In the 2000s and 2010s, she appeared in movies like Step Up 2, The Streets, and The Perfect Match, as well as on the hit TV show Empire. She's also modeled for brands like Calvin Klein, ASOS, and Forever 21. Additionally, Cassie stayed in the public eye for her decade-long on-and-off-again relationship with Diddy. She eventually moved on from him and married Alex Fine in 2019. The couple have 2 children together, and these days, she shares both her personal and professional life with her 9 million-plus Instagram followers. While Cassie hasn't released a proper album since 2006, Diddy appeared to process the demise of their relationship with the 2022 track Gotta Move On. However, it's safe to say she won't respond musically to her ex's laments.
The experience of getting over it is usually pretty quick and easy if you really don't think that he's right for you anyway.
As Cassie told The Cut in January 2023, "I'm not fearful of the decisions that I make for myself because they're mine and they're for the benefit of me and my family at the end of the day." If you or anyone you know needs help with addiction issues, help is available. Visit the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration website or contact SAMHSA's National Helpline at 1-800-662-HELP. That's 1-800-662-4357.